Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a great day today. Well, we've got an interesting comparison lined up, something I've never done before, but I've always been curious about. On one hand, I've got a Donner Stratocaster. I did a review on this a few weeks ago, left pretty impressed, tore the whole thing apart, looked at the guitar really closely, played a bunch of tones, and turns out it's just a good guitar for the money. Now this was sent into the channel by Donner for review. So this is a review guitar, and in the box is the exact same guitar. I went out and bought the same model because what I want to do today is compare a review guitar versus something that just an average person would buy. Are they the same quality? Is the review guitar nicer than what somebody would buy? Well, let's find out. All right, so let's start by unboxing the guitar that I purchased. That should do it. So let's open this sucker up and we'll just kind of go through step by step in the same way as I reviewed the other guitar and of course do a direct comparison. So in the box, strap of course, the little Donner mini amp. I never plugged it in or used it last time, but it does come with like some sort of little tiny amp to get you going, I guess. A little Donner bag. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, tuner, set of strings, picks, that kind of stuff. All comes in the package, but here's what we're most curious about. Get rid of that. Now, as you guys know, I demo a lot of entry-level guitars on this channel, and what I usually do once I'm done with them is I just give them away to family, friends, anybody who is, interested in music in my local area. Anything I can do to, promote music in just a small way, I do. So usually when I'm done doing, entry-level guitars, I just give them away to whoever needs them. Now, I did still have the Donner from that review, which is why I bought another Donner, but it could be any brand. So here it is, same exact guitar, same exact color. Well, let's dive in and see how similar they are. Now, the first thing I did when I unboxed the Donner review guitar was to check out how straight the neck was. Always curious to see how a guitar is set up, from the factory. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the guitar I purchased here. So there you guys go. You can see this is 12th fret right here, and so middle of the guitar right there. And hopefully the camera will show, but there is no gap there at all. So I would say the guitar I purchased is set up almost identically to the one that Donner sent in. So you can see it is dead straight. There is no gap in the middle. So, the strings are very out of tune, just like the other one. So as we put some tension on there, we probably will get a little relief right there, which we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and tune it up, but so far so good. The necks were set up identically, which is to say dead flat. Doesn't matter if it was the review guitar or my guitar here, they were set up the same. Now the next thing I did in my review was to tune up the guitar and check out the hang on a second, this is gonna be way too confusing. Boom, just got the DiMarzio upgrade, cheapest upgrade known to man, slap a sticker on it. Okay, so this is the initial review guitar. This is the one I just bought. Okay, we got that straight. Now, the action, if you're new to guitar, just simply means how high the string is off the fret. If the action's really high, that means it's gonna be hard to press down on the string and it's gonna put your string out of tune. Now, on this guitar, I found that it was a little high, especially on the 6th string, and I had to lower it. Let's check it out on my guitar. Now, as you guys can see, that 6th string is very high. This is 7th fret here, so kind of in the middle of the guitar. We need to lower that down, and that is the same as the review guitar as well. Middle string's not as bad. 1st string, maybe lower that down a bit. I think I might lower them all a little bit just for my playing style. But yeah, that 6th string is very high, and I think I know why. They probably do that, so that there's no fret buzz as you play it, but it is too high. If you play some bar chords or whatever, it's going to put it out of tune. So we're going to lower that down just like we did with the review guitar. Right, so both guitars had necks straight as an arrow, which is a very good thing. Both guitars had action that was too high, which is not a great thing. And I think if you are, looking to purchase a brand new guitar, if you're, a kid or you're just learning, you might not have the skill or confidence to lower the action, even though it's a very simple job. And maybe nowadays it's not a big deal. You can just hop online and learn. When I was learning, YouTube wasn't even a thing, so maybe it's not a big deal. But yes, both guitars needed the action lower. Now, when I did my initial review of the Donner from Donner. I said the nut was basically cheap plastic, but it was cut clean and it was cut nice. And I said the fretwork was above average. The fret ends were actually quite smooth and there was no grittiness on the front face, which you don't always see in this price range. So what we're going to do is compare them, you know, A to B, and see what we got. All right, so let's start up on the headstock and look at some of the smaller details. Now, as I said in my initial review, the nut on the Donner here is nice. I mean, it matches up on the shoulders on the 6th string, on the 1st string side. There's no adhesive, you know, leaking out anywhere, and the slots are clean. Very nice. And when we look at a top-down view, again, very clean. So, you know, great guitar, no flags there. Let's check out the one that I bought. So as you can see, very similar. You know, it matches up on the 6th string, on the 1st string. Slots look good. Again, it is just cheap plastic, but as I said in my initial review, it seems to be, you know, cut nicely. And again, when we look on the top-down view, you know, nothing that would cause any sort of flags. Now, when we look at the truss rod cutout, this is the review guitar. Nice and clean. Again, you know, this is not an expensive guitar, and all the little details seem to be quite nice. When we jump over to the one I bought, again, very similar. I would say maybe even a slightly cleaner on there. So both guitars really great. Now moving on to the fretwork, as I said in the initial review, well, the Donner had above average fretwork. It was smooth all the way up and down the neck. The front face was smooth for vibrato and bending, and the fret ends, well, as you can see, looked pretty good. Even on the upper frets, they were all kind of filed and nicely. They were not neglected. And when we zoom in like crazy far, well, you can see some file marks, but you're going to pretty much see that on almost any guitar. And yeah, as I said, for the price range, it's great. Now let's jump over and look at the guitar I bought and see how it compares. So this is mine. As you can see, well, about the same. It looks good when we look at a couple frets. When we jump up, again, not neglected on the upper frets, which is great. And when we zoom in crazy far, well, most of the frets look like this, which is even less filing marks, you know, than the review guitar. So I would say so far that's a pass. So overall, you know, the guitars are, again, very consistent. Well, so far so good. These guitars are startlingly similar, which is a very good thing. And it all really comes down to, I think, the proliferation of the CNC machine. If there's one thing, you know, guitar related that happened in my lifetime in terms of, you know, entry-level guitars, it was the fact that CNC machines became available to everybody, which means the neck carve is going to be the same, the body carve is going to be the same, the neck pocket, how the neck attaches to the body, is going to be the same and very consistent. And that's kind of why I wanted to kind of key on you know, some of the smaller things like how the nut was cut, the fretwork, finishing and all that kind of stuff, because that's unrelated to CNC machines. That has to do with how the quality control is on these guitars. But yeah, in terms of construction, like the neck joints, all of it is like tight and clean. So these guitars are, like I said, very well made. All right, so let's plug these guitars in and see how much they sound like one another. But before we do, just for fun, let's throw them on a scale and see what each one weighs. All right, let's start with the review guitar here. Put that on there. Looks like right around 7 pounds, 6.97. So very light. Let's try the one that I bought. They feel the same to me, but I have no idea. Oh, it's lighter. 6.7. Sweet. So anyway, yeah, the one I got was actually a little bit lighter than the review guitar, but in the hand, they basically feel the same. Now, I've wanted to do a comparison like this for a very long time, so I'm glad we could make it happen. And as I mentioned, I just had the Donner around, which is why I'm using them. They have no idea I'm doing this video, but it is good news for Donner because these guitars are basically identical for all intents and purposes, to the point that if you blindfolded me and said, Darrell, we've got two guitars, tell me which one's better or which one's more expensive or anything like that, I would swear that you're handing me the exact same guitar every time. That's how similar they are. So that's good news for Donner for sure, but I think it is representative of a lot of low-end brands. You know, companies just simply can't get away by, you know, sending a reviewer an awesome guitar and selling everybody else crap. You can't get away with it these days, not with like online reviews, user reviews, forums, all that kind of stuff. So that is good news for consumers for sure. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoy videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We've got lots of great content lined up for you guys, including a massive Schecter giveaway. We're giving away 3 Schecter guitars. You got to be subscribed to the channel. So if you're not, be subscribed, and when the channel turns over 700,000, we're going to do a massive giveaway then as well. So stay tuned to this channel, subscribe, and other than that, all my information will be down in the video description below. Have yourself a great day. I love me some DiMarzios, but sorry, you gotta go. Sticker free.